guys, Gareth here from Horsemanship. I got asked a question this week by a student who has started our correspondence course, and they asked, how do you teach a horse to stand for a farrier? My first question was, how good does a horse back up? So no, the backup's good, but when we go to do the feet, the horse jiggles around and can't stand still. And they were using the rhythmic pressure backup to try and keep the horse in place while the farrier was under the horse doing trim, so which is not ideal. So for those that don't know our way of doing a backup, I'm just going to show you. I'm not going to teach you the method. I'm just going to show you. You can ask for a backup. We always aim to get it lighter. So that is the extreme I need for this filly. This is Dimples. She's a 4-year-old filly. Her name is Sassy Dream Lady. But I make sure they're willing to stay in place. So it's not just about going through these movements that we teach. It's about the reason for them. Otherwise we'd be no different to other horsemanship programs. So our thing is we teach you the movements and teach you the reason. So the reason we ask for a backup, get a horse out of our space if they get crowding us, but it's also to communicate through the feet. We want a horse to keep their feet still until told otherwise. And that's all about leadership. It's not about showing them who's boss. None of this got anything to do with respect. I'm kind of on this theme of having people forget about the idea of making a horse respect you. Leadership has got nothing to do with that when it comes to horses. It's about them knowing we're consistent and that we've got good ideas and keep them safe. They will respond to that far more than being told is boss. So this backup and bring back is where I teach it. Just having her stand with her feet still. Having her back up from as light a cue as possible. So people understand that we use aversives as well as positive reinforcement. The Ray Hunt thing of make the right thing easy and the wrong thing hard, I believe we're constantly learning how much less we have to do for them to see what the right thing is, to see the difference between right and wrong. We don't have to come in here and start off straight away with banging on them and getting them out of our space. So that pressure release thing isn't equal across the board. Some people will come in straight away with a huge amount of pressure. Horses respond to the slightest movement of their herd base. We can get far lighter with them to get a response. We don't have to go to these hard aversives. An aversive is negative pressure to get a response. So let me show you. She's a 4-year-old. I have done very limited work with her. She's just part of the herd. She's ready to start her education. But I've maybe spent 2 or 3 hours with her. So this is not a far-in project. Once you've got your backup good and the horse waiting for you, then you can do this. So this is not about how to teach a horse to stand for the farrier. This is about what to have in place before that. Don't try and train a horse to stand for the farrier when the farrier arrives. Spend the time beforehand to prepare it. Bring her back in. Ask her to stand there for me. Okay. I'll come and give a rub. Ask for this foot. Notice, no one's holding for me. Get the foot up. I can start my work. So the point is, it's not about teaching a horse to stand for a farrier, it's teaching a horse what you expect of it all the time. And then when that's really good, it translates fantastically when the farrier comes out. Or the vet comes out and have to stand for injections. They understand, they've done it enough got the behaviour trained in place, that you don't have to yank and bash on a horse in a really stressful situation for them. So I'm doing two things at once here. I'm getting the video done and getting her feet done. I do maintenance trims. I'm not a trained trimmer. I recommend you get a barefoot trimmer if you want to get something to do your feet, horse's feet. And most barefoot trimmers will teach you a maintenance trim that you can do in between. That's what I do on mine. Now, back feet, same story. She's ground tied, coming with the robe. Foot. It's good to be polite about this. I don't drag it out to the side, I bring it out behind her. If you guys in South Africa and you're looking for a barefoot trimmer, Christine Pina from Cavallo Feet Care, she'll help you out. If she can't get to you, if you're far away from her, she's got a bunch of guys that are qualified around the country. There are still some areas where we struggle. The more we get educated, the better off we'll be. So I've spent a lot of time getting her basics in place. When we talk about foundations, this is what we're talking about. The horse needs to be able to stand without constantly being micromanaged. If you're micromanaging them, they will never get to the point where they can do this. Right, I don't think you guys need to see much more. I'll carry on with the trim. Hope that helps, guys. Cheers.